Do I look like Little Red Riding Hood or what? Hello, welcome to my video. If you're from my Instagram, I love you, and if you're not from my Instagram, love you all the same. So today we are doing this makeup look. This is my definition of a perfect date night look. I think it gives off very sultry and sexy with the cat eye look and the red lip, but you have to let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. But anyway, if you're interested in learning how I did this look today, then please keep watching. Okay, so let's begin. Like last time, I'm gonna start off with eye primer. And just like last time, I'm just gonna use my foundation that I'm gonna use today as eye primer instead of the P. Louise base. Just because I want the eyeshadow to have something to grip onto, but the P. Louise base is a little bit too thick for today's look. So today, I'm gonna try, emphasis on try, to keep the eye look pretty simple. And so I'm dipping into shade Rowdy from the first Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival palette. And I am just running that through my crease. Now it's gonna look a little messy right now. I mean, I look like I'm sporting a really nice bruise, but I'm gonna fix that in a minute. Oh, by the way, the brush that I'm applying this on with is the Tapered Crease by BH Cosmetics. So I'm also going to apply it to the outer corner of my eye, just like so. So I'm of course gonna repeat the same step on the other eye. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm just gonna create a little wing shape on the very outer edge of my eye. Now I don't want it really touching my hairline or anything crazy, but also it's not gonna be a baby wing per se. So I mean, wherever that leaves us, that's what we're doing. Now at this point, it does not matter how messy it looks right around here. I'm gonna clean that up later. Okay, so I look a little crazy, which honestly you're used to that on this channel, but I'm trying to look a little bit less crazy at least. I don't know if it's gonna work, probably not, but at least I can try. So with that in mind, I'm taking the P. Louise brush number 117, and I'm just trying to buff out the edges of this look a little bit. So now I just wanna clean up the edges of this look. I've done this a bunch of times on this channel, but let's just revisit. So for this, I'm gonna need a flat brush, Q-tips or cosmetic Q-tips, and just my foundation or concealer or whatever. You could also use Vaseline, but it's not necessary for this in my opinion. So I just put some foundation on my flat brush and I'm sort of tracing out this sharp line, following my lower lash line. So the goal is for it to look sort of like that. And now I'm taking my Q-tip or cosmetic Q-tip or whatever, and I'm just erasing that line. So as you can see, that leaves me with a pretty sharp edge that I'm gonna sharpen out even more later, but for now, this is cool. Ugh, this is the most satisfying part. So now that that's done, I'm gonna take the same flat brush and whatever foundation is left on it and just slightly tap it right over here on my moving lid. I'm not really trying to carve out a cut crease per se. I want it to be a little bit softer than that, but it still needs to look cute. So that is my goal. So another flat brush. By this point, you already know the drill. And I'm just dipping into a very almost a nude beige, almost white shade and applying that over the foundation that we applied earlier. You could also use stark white if you wanted, but I feel like the contrast would be a little bit too much for what I'm trying to achieve here. So I'm just using this very light beigey color. Okay, so now taking a tiny detailed brush. I have no idea which brush this is, by the way. I'm dipping into a black shade, and this specifically is shade Abyss from the Be Perfect X The Vivienne palette. And I'm just aligning like I normally would for now. And I'm stopping at the very outer corner. Okay, and so now once I'm here, I'm just drawing on a little wing shape right there, and we're gonna blend that out in a minute. And I'm also extending the shape on the very outer corner of my crease, as you can see. And again, if it's giving a little messy right now, that doesn't matter. It's gonna get blended and then cleaned up again. Now I'm going back to my trusty E36 brush and just smudging everything, including the liner on my moving lid. And when I get to the little winged out part on the outer part of my crease, I'm gonna blend that inwards towards the middle of my eye. So if at this point you feel like you have some harsh lines or you just want a smoother blend, just dip back into Rowdy, that same brown shade we used, and go over the black with that brown. So at this point, the underside of my eye look got a little messy again, so I'm just gonna do one more round of the cleaning with the Q-tips and the foundation before I move on to the face. So now as far as the face is concerned, I'm just gonna take a priming spray, and this is the Satin Finish by Real Techniques, and I'm just gonna spray my face as sort of like a first layer of primer. So this is great because it made my face slightly tacky, which is perfect for this next step. I'm just applying some Glow Drops by L'Oreal on the very high points of my cheeks. And since I want this to really shine through my foundation, I'm gonna apply quite a heavy-handed amount and then not blend it fully with my fingers, as you can see. And I'm gonna leave it like that for a couple of minutes to almost dry down completely, just like you would any concealer when you're trying to get the most coverage out of it. So while that's drying, I'm just gonna mix my foundation on my little palette slash hand right here, because right now I'm at a weird in-between shade because I'm a little tan on my body, but not really on my face. So I'm trying to make the two match. It never works. So anyways, we are where we are. So I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation and also the L'Oreal True Match. Now that that's looking lovely and very professional,
what the is going on in here on this day?
And now that this has mostly dried, I'm just gonna blend it in a little bit further, kind of like that. So now I'm taking a beauty blender, dipping it into my foundation concoction and applying it all over my face. So I'm gonna work in little increments, starting on this side of my face first. Now I'm moving on to this side. That shade match is not ideal. Look how orange I fucking look, girl. But it's fine. I'm just gonna drag it down to my neck and call it a day. Who even has time to match their foundation to their face? Oof. I think the answer to that is everybody except for me. And the thing is, I have time, I just don't have the patience, so there you go. So now that we're on the forehead area, I'm just taking a flat brush and sort of cleaning above my brows with that foundation a little bit. I'm not necessarily trying to carve them out, just clean. So now since I decided to look completely orange today, I might as well at least match my neck to that. So now I'm cleaning up around the edges one last time, except this time I'm not gonna wipe it away. I'm gonna blend this in. So it is now time to conceal, and I'm first using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade 05 Brightener, which is almost like a peachy toned corrector. It doesn't look like that right now on camera, but it is nice in canceling out the purple tones underneath your eyes. I was gonna say, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that, but we can all see that it's quite literally not a little bit. In fact, it's a lot of it. So I'm gonna apply a lot of that, and then I'm gonna move on to the Maybelline Superstay Concealer and apply that on all my little problem areas. And I'm gonna start to blend that out, but I'm not gonna finish. And as for the corrector, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute and then blend the whole thing out together. Perfect, so now I'm going back into it with the, believe it or not, Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I know, it's been a minute. 2016 called, and it wants its star product back, but honestly I don't know what it is. I've kind of been getting back into it recently, so there you go. Now while that dries, I'm just applying an eyelash primer slash serum to my lashes. Okay, so now while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm actually gonna blend out my dried out concealer. I'm just gonna set my under eyes here using a small beauty blender and a banana powder. Okay, so I'm not baking that. I'm gonna set that into the skin right now. So now I'm taking the same small detailed brush that I was using before, and I'm just running the black and the brown shades through my lower lash line a little bit to balance out the whole eye look. Moving back to the face, I'm using an angled brush and a NARS bronzer to bronze up my cheeks, around my temples, my forehead, and obviously my very problematic yet cute jawline. Look at me transforming from having 2 chins to like 1.5. So while I'm here, I'm also gonna use some cream contour to contour the nose just a little tiny bit. This is by Maybelline. So we're gonna move on to blush. I normally use this one by The Balm. It's beautiful. It is shimmery though, and some people I know don't like that, but I love it. But today, since the focus of this look is gonna be sort of a reddish lip shade, we're gonna use sort of a reddish blush. And this one is by ColourPop in the shade Silence. So I'm just gonna pop it on my cheek here. Look how gorgeous that is. Also, somebody has to stop me when it comes to blush because I really apply a whole lot of it. And also, I like the way it looks. But you know what? Sometimes I realize I do look crazy and a little bit like a clown. So I need to stop right about now. Okay, I still think I went a little bit overboard, but it's fine. So before I move on to highlighter, I'm just gonna apply some mascara. This is Sky High by Maybelline. As far as highlighter is concerned, it's the Diamond Bomb by Fenty Beauty, which I use literally all the time. It's so beautiful and it literally looks so pretty in any lighting. I am gonna use a Juvia's Place highlighter for my inner corners and underneath my brow bone though. It's this beautiful little champagne shade and I love using it for those spots. Now for the final step of this look, lips. Now I normally opt for nude lips just in everyday life, but also especially on dates because I think red lips are a little messy, and then if you're gonna go eat, it's a little complicated to reapply. But with that being said, this shade was for no reason whatsoever 50% off in my drugstore, and as soon as I saw it, honestly, even if it wasn't 50% off, I would have gotten it. So we're gonna suffer through the complications today. So this is the Maybelline Super Stay in shade Unrivaled. And I'm just using a small lip brush to outline my lips with it first. Okay, and now that I've lined them, I'm just gonna fill them in. Okay, and here's the lippy. It's a really beautiful, like purpley burgundy red. It's not necessarily a true red, which is what I love about it. Sorry, I'm talking weird. I'm waiting for it to dry. Anyway, while it dries, I'm gonna take out my hair so we can feel the full fantasy and show you the final look. Okay, and here it is. Here's the finished look. Honestly, I really love it. I also added these little cute Y2K braids today. I don't know why, I was just in the mood and I never do anything with my hair, so this is like big for me. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I personally love this look. It's my definition of a perfect date night look. Now I want you to let me know what your date night look consists of. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you liked it, then please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!